How's it going, everybody? This is Koji, and I have been playing Persona 4 Golden lately. I've got it on my Switch, and I've been playing it a lot. And I wanted to talk about it a little bit because I've been spending a bunch of time in this world lately. This game originally came out in 2008 for the PS2, just as Persona 4, and then about 4 years later, they came out with Persona 4 Golden on the Vita, and that's like the ultimate refined version of Persona 4. They add some, I think, extra characters. They change things up a little bit, just make it the best. Atlas does this a lot. With Persona 5, you got Royale, and like with Catherine, after a while, you got Catherine full body. So this is like kind of a common thing they do. But yeah, I've been playing Persona 4 Golden on my Switch, and I have played it a little bit on the Vita beforehand, maybe halfway through or something on the Vita, and didn't stick with it for whatever reason. And I decided, I really do want to play through this game. I want to try to finish it. So I picked it up again on the Switch, and I think it's been a really great fit. It runs better, the resolution's better, it's a nice 60 FPS. I really think it's like a great way to experience this game, and you get to play it, in a handheld on the go. And I just think there's something about a handheld that like adds a lot to the experience of these JRPGs for some reason. So yeah, I've been playing it on the Switch, and it's been really great. This is a very stylish game. The point of the game is sort of to run around and interact with these like anime type characters. This game, these Persona games, they make you feel like you're like in an anime, sort of. It's a very character-driven game where you're running around the high school, the town you're in, whatever, and you're interacting with all these different characters and kind of like building your relationship with them, your social link, as the game calls it. And it's sort of split between combat, where you're going into these dungeons and fighting things and leveling up, and split between that and you exploring this town and doing things throughout the day, sort of a life sim sort of a thing. The cool thing about the Persona games and Persona 4 is that it has this emphasis on making use of each day, where you have to use each day wisely. Each day is an opportunity to make a step towards improving your attributes, your knowledge, courage, understanding, diligence, and expression, and which in turn, this kind of unlocks different jobs, like people you can talk to, etc. And, you truly start to feel like the days are valuable, and there's almost this like race against the progression of the story, where you're trying to cram as much character and stat progression and all that stuff in before the next dungeon arrives, and because you want to be as strong as possible for it. And I think this is honestly a good game to play because I have this other channel called Grand, and it's all about self-improvement and things like that. And this game really puts you in this headspace of like each day is important, and that you need to sort of compound and prioritize like these certain goals. It's time management in a way, but there's never like a clock counting down your hours. It's more like tactical. You're more like choosing what you're going to do, and you kind of need to plan out, like, am I going to develop this bond with this character like very strongly so that I'll get all the maximum benefits for that, or should I be like going to work so I can save up some extra money and like get better armor, or whatever I would do with that. It's funny because in my other channel, we're talking about self-improvement, and this game is like, it personifies, no pun intended, this concept of being productive and like not wanting to waste your time. There's not like an endless scroll and watch TV all day option, and it's like, if there were, it probably wouldn't give you any good stats, and like no one would ever pick it, right? In real life, a lot of people pick this option, but like you quickly learn in Persona that you want to be like maximizing your time and using every opportunity that you have to learn things. You're really like, especially when you're in the thick of it, in between dungeons and stuff, you're just like trying to like level up as much as possible. It's like you almost wish that there was like unlimited time to just learn everything that you could and max up all your stats. And it does kind of like remind me of like life in that way, where you have like this limited amount of time, and you want to try to spend it wisely to like level up the things that are important. And yeah, so this game's they're more like they're more like about self-improvement, honestly, than maybe you would think. I'm sort of surprised these games aren't spoken about more in like the self-improvement sphere or whatever, because they're honestly like some of the more self-improvement oriented games that I've ever played. And I think it's not just about building your like strongest character to go fight against dragons and stuff like that, but it's about building your social circle almost. And you don't really see that, I think, in a lot of games. It's about building this social circle and studying and like going to like basketball practice or whatever practice you chose. And like if somebody was getting ready to go to like high school or college, I would probably actually like recommend they play this game, because it's almost like a how to be productive and popular and successful simulator, right? Like the game really seems to stress that just putting yourself out there and doing something every day will yield results, because it doesn't really matter what you do, but everything gives you like stats, right? Like for example, if you choose a job, if you want to take one, it doesn't just give you money, but it also like raises your stats and stuff. Like I took this hospital job because you got paid like 5,000 yen for it per day. But each time, you go to the job, you also gain courage, because the hospital, like, it's creepy at nighttime, right? And so like it's creepy at night and you're cleaning, it's like, oh, I heard something off in the distance, and then it raises your courage. And also you kind of meet this nurse who like she kind of puts the moves on you, and so you get to like experience this storyline where this like promiscuous nurse is like flirting with you and stuff, and it improves your devil social link. So whenever you make cards in the devil category, or you make personas in the devil category, it'll like give them a boost. And so it's cool because it's like it's not really just for the money. And I think this honestly reflects like real life sort of in a way, because it's not just about how taking a job is for money, but it's it also sort of allows you to meet new people and learn things that you never would have done otherwise. And even if the job sucks, just like real life, it might increase your empathy. It might increase your courage or something. It's like, because you start to get this experience that you never would have had otherwise if you weren't sort of like doing some of this menial labor and stuff. So I think it does a good job of like pushing you to go do different things and then rewarding you for doing those different things. Like you can go to this like Chinese diner and you can eat, like the noodles are like super spicy, and it's like, oh, that raises your like courage and understanding and stuff. Well, and if you spend enough time there, you like start talking to the shop owner more. So it's weird. It sounds maybe like on paper that like it would be boring, but honestly, in this game at least, the fighting I think takes sort of a backseat to the things that you're doing in the town, the things you're doing in the high school. All that stuff is like just super satisfying, and you just feel like, I want to go to practice, I want to go eat here, I want to do this, I want to do this. Like you feel like you never have enough time to like do all the stuff you want to do, because everything gives you a boost, right? It's a very stylish game too, and I think that is one of the major reasons people like it. The town you wander around in is very nice. It's really got this like Japanese feel to it. All the characters are drawn really well. All the art is really good. It's very, very stylish and charming and refined, and it always seems like there's like new dialogue to be read as you progress down each of these social links. And there's a lot. You got a bunch of people you can hang out with from your school and outside your school. You got the jobs, people you meet at the jobs. You got the people you meet just around the town. I started hanging out with this old lady because she was just interesting, and I would just wander around. It'd be daytime, and sometimes she'd be down by the river, and she would just tell me about like her husband and stuff like that. And you just talk to this lady, and all of a sudden you're getting like stat bonuses and stuff. So it's really cool. There's all these different people. You can hang out with your party members, obviously, and you raise their links and things like that. And the more you hang out with them, sometimes it'll unlock things that make them more like efficient during combat. And it just really rewards you. Like, it takes all the things you're doing in the outside world and it translates it into the gamey part of the game where you're like fighting in these dungeons, and it does that really well, I think. You have your favorites too. Each character and their story arc it's pretty interesting, and I think it sort of says something about you as a player, like when you analyze what you enjoy doing in this game and who you want to like spend your time with and why. Like, do you really laser focus on a couple different people and boost their things all the way, or do you more sort of float around and try to talk to everybody? The game it throws like a bunch of people at you and a bunch of girls and stuff at you as well, whether it's like your teammates or whoever else, and you can choose to like focus on one, or you can kind of like play the field, and the game gives you different dialogue options for this too. It's pretty funny because this is very like what many would consider to be a weeb game, I think, for like the otakus, the people who are like really into Japan and Japanese culture and stuff like that. But I would say like your character in this game is not really a nerd. Like, all things considered, he's actually like, you quickly start to get really popular. You get like multiple girls that are into you. You're doing sports. You're going to all these events and stuff. And if you analyze your character in this game, he's honestly like a super social dude. And you can choose to be more of a recluse and like read and study and stuff, which you get stats for too. It's cool. Like, if you like study on like a rainy day, you'll get more points because it's like, yeah, the rain came down and it like blocked out all the noise and you could really focus. So he's honestly a very social guy. You're like super popular. And yeah, I think it's just very interesting. I'm happy I started playing Persona 4. I'm happy that I'm finally like getting through this game. I've been trying to play more games lately, honestly, which is funny. If you watch my other channel, it's like self-improvement and stuff. I did make a video recently about how video games and self-improvement kind of can coexist, and what I've really realized lately is that I just want to, instead of the endless scrolling on the phones or whatever, I just want to actually play some games and try to at least have the attention span to play through and complete these games. So I was like, you know what? I want to beat this game. It's been one that's been like kind of sitting in my backlog forever. So I'm really happy I started playing. And I do see sort of what the hype is about. Even for a little bit older game at this point, it has a lot of charm to it. Really holds up really well. I think another thing about this game is the in-game sprites and the character models and stuff like that. I think that is actually really, really well done. And even if the art and stuff, which I think is amazing, even if, as the game ages and stuff, I just think it will be looked back on as a very well-crafted sort of piece of art. And just because everything in this game is just, it's built to stand the test of time, I think. So, yeah, guys, I just want to talk about it a little bit and say I think it's really good. I'm happy I started playing it. I'm going to finish it before too much longer, and I got these other games coming too. And then I'm going to eventually move on to 5. And that was another thing, was that I own 5 as well. But I wanted to play through 4 first. And I'm happy I did. There's part of me that's like, maybe I'll just skip 4 and just go straight to 5. Because I know 5 is going to have like better graphics and better quality of life. And it's going to be more fleshed out, I think. But I think a lot of people believe that like 4 is the best one. So I'm like, I want to have that frame of reference. And so now I will have that. I will beat 4 before I play 5, and then I'll have to. I think it'll give me more of a enjoyment for 5 once I start getting into that, to see how they evolve the franchise from 4 to 5. But yeah, that's about it, guys. I just wanted to make a quick video and talk to you. Persona 4 Golden. I think it's a really great game, and I recommend at least playing through maybe one of these Persona games, because they're very unique. And I think they do have an effect on you to where you play these games, you start to realize, I do have a limited amount of time each day. And I almost, as I've been playing this game, I'll find myself sort of like, when I'm drifting off, my brain is almost analyzing, like, okay, we got this much time, tomorrow's coming up, what can we fit in tomorrow? And it makes you like want to be more productive. It makes you want to like spend your time more wisely and be like, hey, I could wake up, I could practice this and do my gym skill or my whatever skill is going to increase. And it makes you kind of realize that each day is very important, and if you spend each day wisely, you can start to build up some skill sets. And yeah, guys, that's about it. Appreciate you if you watched all this way. This is going to be kind of what this channel is. I know this video is a little rough, a little bit of my first one. It's not my normal formula of my self-improvement videos. If you're into that, I play Elden Ring, and I make these videos on self-improvement over there on my channel called Grand, which I have, you can find that on the channel page. And go check that out if you're interested in that. It's going to be a lot different than this channel, but this is kind of what I'm interested in this channel. Is I'm just going to be kind of picking video games, things I'm watching, maybe things happening like current events, and just kind of going over them and talking about them. So yeah, I appreciate it. And let me know what you guys think, and if you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. And yeah, let me know what you guys think about Persona 4 if you've played through this game. Is it something you've played before? Is it one of your favorite games of all time? What's your opinions on Persona 4? And let me know what you think I should be looking forward to in Persona 5. Is that better than this game? I don't know. We'll see. But that's it, guys. I appreciate you watching. This has been Koji with everything else, and I'll see you guys next time. Adios.